Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the video. Now we're heading to
Ichetucknee Springs.
Stick around. For those of you who don't know it, we have moved from Palm Bay and are mooch docking in Mims. Ichetucknee Springs is northwest of Gainesville. We'll be heading up I-95 north all the way up to Ormond Beach, and then we'll head west on State Road 40 through the Ocala National Forest, heading to Ocala. When we get to Ocala, we'll jump on I-75 north and head toward Gainesville. Once we pass Gainesville, we'll get on 441 and 27 heading northwest to Fort White, and just past Fort White is Ichetucknee Springs. Well, we ran into a lot of rain on our way to Ichetucknee Springs. It was quite the challenge.
It's been an interesting ride so far.
Yeah, some intense driving and weather.
Some intense weather. I think every county we hit a thunderstorm, not just a little one, a pretty major thunderstorm.
One time we were on the interstate and the visibility was definitely down to 20 feet.
Yeah, you could barely see the
I had
line.
to slow down to about 25, 30 miles an hour on the interstate.
We're going to be camping at Ichetucknee Springs Campground, which is not affiliated with Ichetucknee Springs. But Ichetucknee Campground is not far from the state park. Well, we finally made it to Ichetucknee Springs Campground, and it was raining so bad I didn't videotape it. We got set up and decided to take a short tour of the campground to look at the campsites. Ichetucknee Springs Campground is unique in that the property was originally a residence and then was turned into a campground. So it has a certain type of layout that takes a little bit of time to get used to. But it's very woodsy and the canopy is 100% coverage. So very little light comes through when you're camping at your campsite. It's really beautiful. And when the birds are crowing, it echoes underneath the canopy. Well, we hit the sack and get ready for the next day. Well, good morning. Let's do this. All right, we're on our way to the Santa Fe River boat ramp to drop off the kayaks and go kayaking. So away we go. Here we go. All right, we made it to the Santa Fe River, so let's get these kayaks in the water. All right, backing up the truck to get to the water. All right, we on the water now. This is the Santa Fe River, and there's where we just launched from. All right, we haven't even went 100 feet, and we got a boil right here, a spring. They're pushing us off. Oh yeah, they're all over. As the river flows westward, the landscape changes to a dry plain. Rainwater sinks quickly through sandy soil into the porous limestone bedrock and flows underground to the river. The many sinkholes, springs, swallets, and rises seen along the lower Santa Fe formed as natural acidic rainwater dissolved the bedrock over many years. Landscapes shaped by this process are called karsts. The most dramatic karst feature on the Santa Fe is river sink, a huge swallet that takes the entire river underground where it flows for 3 miles before returning to the surface as a river rise. Although the river never completely disappears again, there are many places along the lower Santa Fe where part of it is going underground in a swallet and reemerges as a rise downstream. About 3/4 of a mile upstream of the boat ramp is an example of what makes this river extraordinary. Alligator swallow, found on the Columbia County side of the river. It takes a significant amount of water down into a cave system. This water travels underground for about 3,600 feet until it resurfaces at Alligator Rise. The rise can be seen from the boat ramp in a small inlet about 150 feet upstream on the Alachua County side of the river. We only noticed these rapids off to the side. They weren't very big, but enough to get our attention. And that's how we found Alligator swallow. It's a huge swallow. We were totally shocked by what we saw, especially since we didn't read the sign before we got on the water. So we had no idea what was going on. As we got to this area where the water just went down into the ground like a sinkhole.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. It's got to be going down. That's weird. So we go down the whole river, and all of a sudden the water's rushing to this dead end. I heard something this morning. It sounded like a monkey. It went, whoa, like that.
Oh, it's the barred owl.
Is that what it was?
That's it.
Yeah, I heard all them crows. And then next thing I heard, oh, there they are.
What a little brat. You have to have that spot, huh? I think he wants to mate and he's not having it.
It's a little late to me mating.
Oh, that's so cute. He's like, leave me alone. This is my thing.
All right, that's the first.
Oh, there's 3 of them.
Well, we actually hit some really shallow, rocky areas, so shallow that we had to get out of our kayaks and pull them along to get to deeper water. And I saw some areas that I thought I wanted to get some closer video footage of some little rapid water. So I'm walking towards them to shoot some video. Well, we finish up our first half of the day kayaking and head back to the campground. Here's a map of the unique layout of Ichetucknee Springs Campground. Here is the entrance to the park. My sister is at campsite 11 and I'm next to her at campsite 9. My brother Mike and his wife Kathy are at site number 1. And here's the office.
We're walking down the main road here. We're gonna go to the office and want to show you around the office at Ichetucknee Springs Campground. Here we go. This is the front. We've got handicap parking and then come around this little path. Pretty cool. Got an office to the right, restrooms, and this is why I came to the game room. Pinball. Oh, we got the games on over here. Jukebox.
Well, I went back to the campsite and met up with my family, and we saw these butterflies doing some kind of dance.
He's performing, doing a dance, saying, "Look at how beautiful I am. You got to mate with me because I'm a stud. Look at me.
She's like, okay,
I got good genes. We'll make good baby butterflies."
maybe they have to be in there.
Well, that was interesting. Didn't expect that, camping. Well, I failed to mention that Sherry had to work in the morning, so she didn't get to kayak. So when we came back for lunch, I asked her what she wanted to do, to go tubing or kayaking, and she said, let's go kayaking. So we got back in the truck and headed for the Santa Fe River ramp again. This time, though, we went downstream first in search of Poe Spring. That's right, it's a spring called Poe. This is the sign at the boat ramp where we launched the kayaks. I wish I would have read it first, because we would have understood what we were seeing. As we get a closer look of the map, you can see that the lower Santa Fe is full of all kinds of natural features to observe. The ovals are springs all along the lower Santa Fe River. You can see where we launched, we found the Alligator Rise, which we thought was a spring. But as we paddled upstream, we came across the Alligator Swallet, where the little lagoon disappeared into the ground. As we follow the river upstream, you'll notice where the lower Santa Fe River begins, at the River Rise. It appears to come out of the ground like a spring, but it's not. It's the emergence of an underground river that went underground 3 miles north at the river sink of the upper Santa Fe River. Thus, this is the beginning of the lower Santa Fe River. Well, let's get back to the paddle we're going to do today. We'll get back to the ramp, unload the kayaks, and start paddling downstream. We're looking for Poe Spring, which is going to be quite a long paddle, but it's going to be worth it. Stay tuned and see.
All right, we're going under Highway 27. Sticking out of the water.
No, I'm trying to make sure I don't run us
Yeah,
aground.
see all this stuff?
Run aground.
And now you can see in front of April, there's a spring right in front of her kayak. Cool.
One of many that
As we paddle downstream, we've come across these islands quite frequently. Wow, look how mesmerizing this is. It's almost a mirror. Really cool looking.
we made it to some hidden springs. Beautiful.
Well, it's time to head back, and it was a little bit shallow to get into the spring, so I thought I'd show you what it was like trying to get out of the spring. Here's April trying to get out of the spring through the shallows.
Well, it's not pretty. It's not pretty.
Use your oar, yeah.
Woo!
Now we gotta go upstream.
Upstream time.
Well, after tallying up all the kayaking for one day, April's GPS said we did over 7 miles. Phew! Time to go hit the sack for the night and get ready for the next day. As you can see, we blew up our rafts, jumped in the truck, and headed for Springs to ride on the tube. All right, we got to Ichetucknee Springs State Park and paid for our ticket to use the trolley to take us there and pick us back up. So let's go. This is gonna be good.
Wow, that's tough to school up.
Wow, check out these cool caves. Pay attention to the colors of the rocks. Let's listen to what it sounds like floating down the river. Well, it's time to load up and head back to the campground. Well, we always like to take a group photo, so we thought the Ichetucknee Springs Campground sign would be a great place to do it. After we loaded back up in the truck and headed back to the campsite, we noticed this family letting their kids play in the mud puddle, so we decided to videotape them.
I'm running out of battery.
Oh my God.
Nice.
That was awesome.
Hey, you just skip one.
Man. Hey, you're muddy. You might as well keep it up.
Wow, we went through it a few times.
That was a big guy.
I didn't even
Well, after taking a short break, I took the drone out for a flight. And here's April and Donna's campsite, and we are just next door. And just like I said at the beginning of the video, the canopy is so full that you really can't see much of anything. There's a few gaps here and there. For the most part, it's total coverage. Beautiful. Now we're gonna head to the office. Now we're going to fly over the center of the campground, and you can see how full the canopy is. Alright, now I'm going to go fly below the canopy to get a close-up of our campsites. Danger, danger. Well, that's all the footage I got from Ichetucknee Springs, so we gotta wrap it up. We hitched up, dumped the takes, and took off for home. Do me a favor and check out the long version of this video that I made, and tell me if you like it better than the short version. I'd appreciate it. So if you like the video, hit the like button, and please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we upload our next video. See you next time on RV Weekend.